All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Yu Yu Hakusho, episode 90. Oh boy. Get the can of whoop ass out, because we about to bust it on Sensui. Hopefully.
Yeah.
That, or it's going to go the other way, which would be pretty bad.
Yeah, because Yusuke is dead. He died to give his friends the chance here, and now we'll see in what way he's not going to be dead.
Right, exactly, because this isn't going to stick, but
it could for a little bit.
It could for a little bit.
Yeah. Kuwabara is going to be the fucking Chad here.
Yep.
And
he already has been.
Yeah, Hiei and Kurama are going to back him up, and they're just going to...
Yeah. We'll see how far that sacred energy takes you, Sensui, because they will push you to the limit and maybe beyond.
Mm-hmm. I would very, very, very much like to see Sensui kind of talk for a bit in this state a little bit more, because I could see him also being like, it's okay. And he just kind of bears his neck, and be like, it's okay.
That would be...
And, yeah,
damn.
I should have died,
Yeah, because he didn't seem happy about the fact that Yusuke died. He's like, this didn't actually...
Gave me no catharsis.
No catharsis.
In fact, I feel like worse.
But he does still have an objective, and that's to break the Kakai barrier. And Kuwabara is now swinging that sword, so theoretically he could maybe guide a strike or something to make that happen. But, yeah.
But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
He can't.
No. I like that it's blurry, like...
Trial of humanity.
Like almost like our eyes are blurry. Or Kuwabara's eyes are blurry, Whoa, okay.
All right.
That's a good title.
Yep.
Let's go.
There's little time for closing arguments. The tunnel is open.
Those shadows over his eyes.
Are any of you brave enough to lead the way? Attempt to finish what your late friend could not.
Here they come. Oh, that looks so gross.
Oh my god.
Sure, bravery's the only thing we got left.
Oh. Yep.
All right.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna go all out on these bitches.
Yep. Sends it straight through the portal.
Yeah, just he is on blasting the portal doing. Oh, let's go.
All right.
Go, Kurama.
Incredible. Their demon energy has jumped to A-class levels.
Hey, wait for me, you guys.
What?
Urameshi, you died a hero's death.
Oh.
Sacrificing your life to save billions of others. You've lit our torches, and I won't let your death be in vain. Even if it means I'll be joining you soon.
Oh.
Sensui, you're gonna regret making me mad.
All right, I like that they moved kind of like way faster. It's kind of like the battle of the Black Gate, where Mary and Pippin go first, but everyone else runs past them.
I love the connotation there that they're the hobbits and Kuwabara is the army. Yep, just straight for the portal.
Here's a one-way ticket for you straight to hell.
Oh, send him back.
Oh shit.
My God. Yeah, even if he blocks it, doesn't matter. The force will send him back through.
Not a bad way to travel.
Oh my God.
Where are we going?
We're going in.
Wait. Yeah, that'd be the best way to defend it. Be on the other side.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
That's so epic. Let's go.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's open. We don't have to worry about getting back out. It'll be easy if they ever need to.
Yeah.
There are demons of far greater strength and intelligence lurking in the depths of Demon World, laying low and waiting until they know it's safe for them to pass through to this world. And then, they'll unleash a terror more destructive than any weapon man has ever forged. And that is how the world will end.
Oh my God.
All right, well.
We're actually here.
Yep.
Won't that keep the really bad demons from escaping? I thought that's why they wanted Mr. Kuwabara's power, so they could use it to break the net that's in their way. But since that never happened, the barrier must still be intact, right?
Kuwabara will slice through it
Why would he do that?
in order to avenge his friend's death.
He wouldn't do anything that rash.
You obviously don't know Kuwabara.
Oh, trippy. Let's go.
Okay.
Whoa, it's like being inside of a video game.
Trust me, it's not.
What's that?
That's the barrier.
Kai.
Oh,
he
shit.
went to the other side. Oh, because Hiei and Kurama are
I'm glad
A-class
you
now.
asked. As you remember, my energy's of the sacred kind. Fortunately, the brains and spirit world only made this net to filter out demon energy.
Damn.
That's why I passed through unscathed while Hiei's attack burned out when it hit the net.
You
My
want to
best
come at
technique
me?
Can't even singe his ass through this
Yeah,
fence. How are we
Kuwabara would
supposed
have to go
fight
in
him?
by himself.
Yeah.
This Kakai is only sensitive to the energy of A or S-class demons. Which means that in killing your friend, I've awakened the potential you've both dreamed of. Your silence is all the things I need. Ironically, though, now that your powers are finally strong,
Kurama's just gonna try to walk
you
through.
can't get close.
Bro, it might just kill you. Oh! Okay.
He's right, we're trapped.
Oh, the growl in his voice is so angry.
Urameshi couldn't take me on his own.
Yeah, how could you?
You stand a chance in hell.
This
This
is
is a net
fucking
chance in
epic.
hell. Nice.
See when we get there.
I mean, maybe you don't. Wait. Wait. Oh, okay.
well, shit.
I could handle you myself, but this way, even if I die, they can still use your skull as an urn for Urameshi's ashes.
Kuwabara, you fucking idiot.
Just. And they don't respond to that at all. Okay.
I mean, they have to go now. They have to kill him. Oh no, here they come.
Does
Yeah.
your being here mean my son has used his Mafuken?
I'm not sure of that, King Yama, sir. All I know is that there was an earthquake coming from the cave, but I'm positive Yusuke will do something.
That's what I'm afraid of. I can no longer trust a cataclysm of this magnitude in that boy's hands.
Oh shit, here comes
Okay.
Dad.
But Sir Yusuke...
He's no longer on this case. I have no choice but to call in my own men.
The Spirit Defense Force.
The SDF? Things are bad.
Like the JDF.
Slack leadership has wasted too much time already. If only we had known earlier.
Known what?
What should we have known?
Yama? Yama?
Special Defense Force personnel, please report for immediate
Oh my god.
All right.
order of His Royal Majesty King Yama. The King would like to thank you in advance for performing this civic duty to him and to all of Spirit World.
The Special
Okay.
Defense Force, the SDF.
Hope they're
Revered
actually
by
good.
Citizens of Spirit World and feared by denizens of Demon World.
I've never seen
Holy
an SDF
shit.
mobilized. I hope they can give Yusuke and Koema the backup they need.
I want my mommy.
Well, we're fucked. Yeah.
Okay.
None of them have names, so yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
Those C-class trash clamoring for a piece of human flesh and they give all these demons a bad name.
Haven't those short-lived cretins ever heard of overpopulation?
Oh,
From what I
wow.
hear, the streets up there are paved with people.
For all we know, this could just be another Spirit World's demon eradicating trap.
Oh yeah.
There's 4 powerful beings heading this way. 2 of them's got demon energy, 1 spirit energy, but the last... I don't know what kind of energy he's got, but it's a lot. And I don't really want to stick around to find out.
Kuwabara?
No, Sensui.
Oh.
Catch you on the flip side.
Sensui.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is he taking us now?
All the way over. Shit.
The exit.
Kuwabara, you legend. You're a human in Demon World.
Yeah. But also you get to see what you just unleashed on humanity.
So this is Demon World. I hope that I will find The depths of my soul are rooted in dark thoughts. But then we all have darkness and light in us. If we are all light on the outside, there is nothing but darkness underneath. There comes a time when the darkness must come to light.
Hey, has anybody noticed that we're falling very, very, very fast?
Hey, do you know where in Demon World we are? Yes, I believe I've been to these parts before, and if I'm right, then we're rather lucky. It's the Forest of Fools, just low-level demons who won't present any kind of challenge to us.
Okay.
I know we're about to die and all, but I really hate it when you guys ignore what I have to say.
Whoa!
Holy shit!
Casual flying form. Let's go.
All right.
Is it a butterfly? Is there any animal you can't metamorph into?
I haven't turned into a butterfly. This is merely the leaf of a plant, doubling as a glider.
Yep.
Cool.
Which means he's gonna get farther away. Because we're gonna slow our descent by a
Look
lot.
at that cocky punk just free-falling without a care in the world. But I bet you he wishes he had something to catch him now.
You begin to see what my sacred energy is really capable of.
Wow.
I don't have a bag of tricks or a packet of seeds, and I don't need them. I can
just
fly
fly.
without any roots attached, without even the help
shit.
of my maker. That's why they call me Black Angel. If we lived in less cynical times, the gift I'm preparing for the world might have been labeled for what it really is, a miracle.
You think you could scare us with that holy one crap?
Oh my god.
Does he really believe we'd turn around after all we've been through? Who cares what he is, as long as he's dead?
Yeah, now just blast the shit out of him. Got a nice plateau.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. The Plateau of the Beheaded, a fitting battleground indeed. Come to think of it, it's giving me some ideas.
Oh, really?
Beheading, I think.
Some of my own.
Yep, flank him immediately. Yep, split his attention.
It's not something I usually do, fighting opponents who I know have no chance of beating me. But I'm making exceptions for you, to offer some modicum of peace that you at least tried to avenge your friend's death before your own.
Oh, come on now. Is that supposed to impress us?
Kuwabara, please be careful.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, he's just... He's just spiritual pressuring them.
Yep.
Like this is ridiculous.
Sacred energy armor.
Okay.
Am I the only one not doing a costume change?
The great thing about this armor is that it not only strengthens my defenses, but boosts my offense as well.
Well, our boy's been casting while you've been talking.
Dragon? Another one?
This may be the first time he has ever been willing to die for anyone but himself.
Holy shit.
Wow. Oh, yeah, and he's absorbing it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, okay, that's fine.
The binding fist of the demonic vine. And I think you know this sword.
I don't need to tell you what it's called. Wow.
Okay.
And it's over.
Now you are really starting to piss me off!
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Oh! He tanks it. Oh, you little shit.
Oh my god. All right.
Wow, it really isn't even
Since
close.
really is invincible now.
Even though they have him outnumbered, Sensui has Hiei, Kurama, and Kuwabara overpowered on the battlefield of Demon World. This is one foe they may not be able to defeat. But they'll die before they ever give up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yusuke's death hangs over them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reminder of
Yeah.
what they're fighting for.
Yeah.
But
Shit.
will they be joining him soon?
You know, they're gonna need to, like, grab some demons and be like, yo,
Yeah.
like,
Help us punch this bitch.
Ass. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But no conflict or hesitation or anything either with the
Kakai
gate.
barrier.
He just cut right through it. I thought he was gonna like just walk to the other side and then be like, all right, I'll fight you on my own.
I think you just died. Kubar's
Right.
like realizing like, oh, like,
but
like I'm going to be joining, Yusuke soon anyway. Like, it's the kind of selfishness that like, kind of a shonen protagonist best friend would do. Or like, oh, I lose my best friend, Well, who cares about the world?
Right.
All right, we're back in Demon World.
Okay.
All right.
So.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. This is happening. You got armor, Jacob.
I did.
It looks goofy as hell.
It looks goofy as hell.
It does not look like the kind of armor that I think anyone that actually knows much about armor would see as being helpful.
That's fine.
But it's a visual representation.
Fantastical
of the fact that
stories, you don't need to have it be practical.
He's put his energy into a method that can be actionably utilized, and probably because he was a little bit worried about what, Hiei and Kurama especially could do. So he's like, okay, I need to actually utilize some kind of a technique here.
Right.
Otherwise, maybe my defenses won't be enough.
But yeah, they're fighting, and it is very
one-sided.
It is 100% one-sided. Even Hiei, with the Dragon of the Darkness Flame absorbed, gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the unfortunate thing of where we've had the thing that made Sensui so interesting kind of supplanted in order to give him I am the baddest of badass villains, and I can't be beaten, and there's nothing you can do that can touch me. I don't even have to try.
Right.
It feels like all the stakes were taken out of the story now because there's no back and forth. That was one of the things that was so exciting about the Yusuke versus Sensui portion, was that you could feel the push and pull, the struggle, that it wasn't one-sided, that there were ways in which Sensui absolutely was crushing Yusuke, and there were ways in which Yusuke could surprise Sensui. So, okay, let's see. Maybe this is just the setup for the way things are going to get flipped back in the next episode, and that's what I'm really excited for.
And given that they're in Demon World, I think there's a lot of opportunity for that to happen because
demons could show up to spectate.
Or maybe even get involved. I would not be surprised if some of them are like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We know this shit.
You're the one that's been killing us for like
we tell stories about you huddled over the fire with, like you're the boogeyman and you're here. And they also want you dead? And you're by yourself?
Yeah.
Hey guys, let's get him,
And then they'd be like, well, you first.
Right, exactly.
You don't just charge at the boogeyman, you're like...
Hey, we're all the ANS class demons. They're like,
They're asleep doing their own kingdom shit or whatever,
exactly. Do you want to be the one to wake them up? Well, so and the idea of this potentially even maybe being able to turn into some kind of arc within Demon World... I would so be down for that. Because, let's say the barrier gets fixed somehow. They're still on the other side of it. Hiei and Kurama can't get back because King Yama comes up with his SDF people and they, do something or whatever.
Like a patch that will be like, this is a temporary fix. This will hold for a little bit while we build the next kind of set of things.
We could then get a situation where even if Sensui is then defeated, they're needing to deal with the demons that are in here. And that just... That sounds hype as hell, right? Yeah. Like I 110% am down for that happening. But okay.
Yeah, demons feel like the next logical step in the story's plot progression, and in terms of just general, the powers of the characters getting stronger enough to be able to handle demons and stuff like that.
Fighting them here is the perfect way to do it, because then the collateral damage is in Demon World, not in the human world, where countless people would die just from the effects of the fight happening,
Right.
Even if you could keep it concentrated to just the exit of the portal.
Right, but also we don't need to learn too much more about the world of Earth, really, with regards to demons. We need to learn more about how the demon world works, maybe with regards to demons. So that's exciting. Yama being brought to bear with kind of not necessarily going straight there himself, probably because that would be even more conspicuous, but sending the SDF, which is hilarious as like a, oh, okay.
All right,
cool. And while I could see everything being potentially tied up very nicely with a bow once Yusuke somehow comes back.
Because there was a specific bit of commentary that Yama made about how, like, Koenma failed by making Yusuke the spirit detective, but it's like...
Well, that was the thing. Did you get actually the vibe that it was something where it was vague enough that you could interpret it as either Sensui or Yusuke? It wasn't that he was pointing at any one of them specifically. It was that the verbiage was oddly not specific.
Oh,
let me go back and bring that part up, because I actually felt like kind of there was this vibe of that he was like, yeah, we made a mistake. Let me bring the part up again where Sayatome's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
What did you say there?
Because obviously Sensui was a mistake, but...
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, it was this part here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's worse than we thought.
Right.
Yeah, my son made a very great error when he recruited that spirit detective,
and then
which is not necessarily Sensui.
Right. Botan says, oh, but no one could have predicted Sensui.
And he says, you understand nothing.
Yeah.
So what it might have been is where he's like, because he recruited Yusuke, Kuwabara ended up basically awakening his spirit energy.
And then just cutting through the barrier.
Cut through the barrier.
Which that makes a lot of sense. Like that. Like, I feel like we don't need any new information or reveals or twists or whatever in order to get that, right?
Yeah.
Kuwabara.
There could be more to it, but that's at the very least something that makes perfect sense.
Right. But if it is something about Yusuke, that could be a way in which then Yusuke isn't actually dead. You know, he comes back, whatever, and then maybe that can be a way that Sensui is then defeated, right?
Yeah. I will say, though, my favorite part of the episode, other than the hype, just Hiei Unleashed action, was as Sensui is falling through the sky, and he's like, oh, so this is Demon World. And then he thinks back to all those moments where he would just rinse, repeat, kill. And then he looks at other personalities inside him that he's locked in this jail cell.
Right.
And then they're all just talking to him. And then that shot of him, like, with the roots of, like, what's inside him.
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful and chilling. And like,
so
Sensui
good.
Continues, even though with the way that the fighting is going, I'm way less interested in the actual technical fight now because it doesn't feel like there's any counterplay, really.
Yeah.
Sensui as a character continues to be very, very interesting to me.
Very interesting.
So, you know, keep this going, you know.
Use it to explore his character more.
Exactly, right.
Give him, in some ways, maybe a unique choice in where we can find out that he's really not interested in killing any of them. He's still holding on to that goodness that was sequestered away from the darker parts of himself, which is why they're still alive.
Sure.
And then it can be a thing of where he maybe walks away into the demon world over the horizon to basically seek out judgment from the demons so that he can understand them and be like, I never really knew who you were. And now that I'm here, I'm free to know. I'm free to explore. I'm free to understand basically what the sins I committed were by slaughtering your kind and learn your ways and see all this. And maybe he ends up carrying over to the next arc and he's actually a friend eventually.
There's all sorts of possibilities.
Yeah.
But Sensui's character arc is certainly not done, not just for those reasons that you're talking about, but also because he mentioned that he had a specific objective here. That's curious to me because then that makes it seem like opening the portal and everything was actually just
a way in.
Like now, granted, breaking the barrier, that's a separate thing, right?
I think he could already smart enough to have three birds with one stone kind of thing.
Exactly. Multitasking and all that.
He's getting vengeance on Koenma and Spirit World for basically setting him up to be this way and breaking him. He's getting vengeance on... He's bringing justice to the humans for being such horrific monsters, or demons, if you will. And then 3, he's getting to go to the demon world for whatever his objective is.
Right.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about that to me is that given that Sensui's ideology is so nihilistic, the idea that he would have something that he would actively be seeking out as a goal beyond just the bring about the calamity of humanity so that they can, be punished for their sins and all that stuff. I wouldn't think he would have anything else that he would need to do. You did your job. It's done. Like here you go. Now you can.
He's still alive. Well, of course he has to have a goal. Well, you can have nihilism but still have goals.
Well, you could, but given that he is such a principle-driven individual, if this is something, his goals up until now, as far as we've seen, have been all based on his principles, right? He believes that this must happen. Humans are evil and all that stuff. So as a result, he will take these actions, right? If this new objective that he has, right, will either be based on his principles or it's not. If it's based on his principles, I don't see any obvious principle question that would need to be answered at this point, given what he's already accomplished.
Well, it doesn't have to be a question. It could just be a thing where he's like, oh, because of my principles, I must do this thing.
I don't see any immediate thing that he would need to do as a result of his principles.
Yes, I think there's a very, very, very obvious one.
Okay.
What he's been looking for is potentially a way in which he can finally be judged. It makes so much sense. He's been sequestered in this way so that he can make his goal of opening the portal, unleashing all this judgment, if you will. If he believes he's right, he can't deny the fact that there was a part of him that he had to sequester away in order to make himself able to do this. So if he then comes full circle to where he's like, okay, that part, to be able to do that, makes sense. But it was still an ends justify the means situation.
And so I must be punished for doing
that. I must be punished for doing.
Sure.
And so therefore he's going to seek out an S-class demon that can actually kill him.
Right.
Because he's like, oh, you guys can't do it. That's the only reason maybe why I'm fighting you, is I'm giving you the chance to do it.
And if I just kill myself, that it doesn't have the same ring to it if I'm being punished by myself as opposed to someone else. Sure.
Right. Maybe he doesn't actually want to be killed by them. He would want it to be something that's done in a demon world. Here I am. I am the one that killed many of your kind.
Sure, come get me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that very much fits in his principles as a...
Sure, it fits with his principles, but the thing that he said seemed to me that he was looking after something specific and concrete. Not like an esoteric yearning of the heart or whatever, but like there was an actual like tangible thing that he was after.
Yeah,
right?
And that could be a world building thing to set up something for
like a future
arc. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's curious to me, because then that means that he has either personal or ideological plans after this. And my understanding of him up until now, unless he wanted to say be punished for his own crimes or whatever, he wouldn't need to have anything else, right? So
I just don't know why you think that, though. Like it doesn't make sense that he would have to not have that, you know?
Not that he would have to not have that, as in he couldn't, but then it would be something. It would be something additional. It would be something where like it's a personal desire of Shinobu or something like that, not necessarily something that's tied to the current ideology and objective that he has.
Right, totally. But there's aspects of him already that are contradictory to his principles. He wanted to kill Yusuke and then realized he was wrong for wanting to kill Yusuke. He got no catharsis out of it. He has no perfect understanding of himself. Just because he's a principled individual doesn't mean that he can have goals, desires, wants, or what have you that are actually in contrast with his true self, like killing Yusuke. When he did it, he realized, no, this didn't give me any catharsis, meaning that this goal that he had, this is not something that he suddenly realized upon entering the portal or something.
Right.
This is something that he's thought about for a while.
Long time. Yeah, exactly.
So the Yusuke one was one that at the very least he's like, oh, I maybe haven't thought about that long because I don't care about you, Yusuke. You're not anything special to me necessarily. But he's like, oh, I want to do this. But then, realizes once he's done it, shit, I actually...
Right, it's his own fallibility where it's like, oh, wait, that didn't actually do for me what I wanted it to.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm really interested about this is because if they were just here to have like a final battle, right, in a place that's relatively safe and separated from the human world and all that stuff, cool, right? That'd still make for a great climactic end to the conflict of the arc, right?
Yeah, but that's not what he's looking for. At least that's what I think we're getting the vibe from here with this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that's really interesting because Sensui has been a very interesting character all the way up through now. And the idea that we might get an additional layer, an additional bit of him peeled back, right, that has been there probably the entire time, right, that we're only getting to see now, that piques my curiosity. I'm like, ooh, what's that going to be? Because I don't see... Other than maybe if it's like the esoteric searching for punishment or whatever, I don't see the way in which it currently fits within my conceptual understanding of Sensui as a character. And so that means then that I'm probably going to get some new, fresh understanding, and I really like that.
Right, and that's what I was trying to present, is that you haven't considered basically all the ramifications of Sensui's character, and one of them is that we've already seen contradictions within him in the midst of getting what he wants, so that he can also not fully truly understand himself even. Something that he wants might not be something that he even really understands why he wants it. It's just this has always been something that I've wanted. This has always been a goal of mine.
I've always wanted to see Demon World.
I've always wanted to see Demon World. Like, it literally could just be that. Because, like, if we go back into the actual, like, bit here, this is why this is my favorite part of the episode, was you could feel there's this slight bit of conflict within him in the way that he kind of describes his feelings. Yeah, well, there comes a time when the darkness must come to light.
Right.
And if there's light all on the outside, then darkness must be what's within. Yeah, when he enters through, he's like, so this is Demon World. Yeah. Yeah, he sounds sad, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and okay, so, all right, so never mind then. I think there's a very good chance that it could be something non-physical.
Yeah.
Because the fact that he said, I hope, that, like, yes, it could be that he heard a tale that there's something specific here that he might be able to find.
But he has no guarantee.
But yeah, no guarantee, so I think it's a lot more likely that he might be searching for something with regards to
the heart or something, something of a feeling, right, or a sense of purpose, or a sense of closure, or a sense of just a sense of something.
Because one of the other things that I think is interesting, if he's looking for something here, is that he's still taking the time to actually fight the boys, because they pose like no threat to him.
He could run away.
He could run away. Now, granted, with Hiei, he is actually like blocking, well, no, not always blocking his attacks, but he is actually like striking back as opposed to just using his energy and blasting them away.
God,
right?
I wish that's like, I have some criticisms of this episode, but I wish that anime didn't feel the need to at times to do the like, I'm fighting you, but I only block. But because I'm not actually using energy to block, it doesn't make sense as to why I didn't strike in the moment where I basically caught your attack with my shoulder, when I could have just gored you.
Right.
Like,
that makes it seem like he doesn't actually want to kill them.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill them or fight them. Which I'm guessing that is what Togashi is literally trying to communicate, is that he is trying to say, stop fighting me. There is no point to doing that. I don't want to fight you, but I'm going to let you spend your energy on me, and then I'll hit you just hard enough that you'll get sent back with that, bludgeoning damage that does no permanent thing like in anime.
Right. Have some disturbing sounds of bones breaking. But
Right. But I'm literally saving your life. I'm not killing you here.
We just saw how I could kill Yusuke, and I killed Yusuke just fine with the one strike, and I'm not hurting you guys. Even though the physical capabilities and hardiness of the three people that are fighting him vary wildly, because now Hiei is souped up like
Hiei's at the strongest he's ever been in the show.
He's at the strongest he's ever been.
Yeah.
Because he is literally using the Dragon of the Darkness Flame to reinforce his own body and all that stuff. So like a punch that takes Hiei out and a punch that takes Kuwabara out are very different punches.
Which means he is very much calculating his own.
Exactly. And that's curious to me.
And it's just something where, we want to know, is that intentional, or is this just the lazy, I beat you and I don't have to try kind of villain fight?
Exactly.
We'll see. We'll see.
Given who Sensui is as a person, I think there's a very good possibility of it being that, but we don't actually really understand his motivations at this point since he's achieved his goal, even though he has another objective. So that's okay.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I'm...
Yeah, the Kakai barrier.
The Kakai barrier.
Yeah.
That felt weird.
It felt rushed. So here's the thing that's weird about it. We know, because of the world building established, what happens with the Kakai barrier being up and with it being down.
Yep, and the characters understand that also.
And the characters also understand this, because this was something that very overtly communicated to them. This is something that Togashi made a point to be like, everyone understands this that is going to be in the squad. Cool. I liked this world building element because it very clearly sets up the point that we're like, so the Kakai barrier will break at some point. Okay, what's the way to do that? Oh, Kuwabara has a thing that can cut through anything. What do you know? Okay, that's probably what's going to cut through the Kakai barrier. Okay, why would Kuwabara cut through the Kakai barrier? This is the reason why. I think you could have done better, Togashi. I think this was something there you kind of made yourself go into a corner where you're like, okay, we need to go into Demon World for the fight.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
In order to do that, you would need to go through the Kakai barrier. Okay, in order to showcase that there's some stakes here as to why they can't just all go through casually, we're going to bring up the Hiei is wondering what class of demon he is, so that sets up the, he is actually an A-class demon at this point. He cannot go in or out. He can't pass through the Kakai barrier at all. Same with Kurama, which sets up the, Kuwabara, if he wants to get vengeance on Sensui, he has to cut through the barrier in order to fight him and have any chance of winning. Now, there's two problems and two ways in which I think Togashi's like, but let these be the reasons why it's okay. First problem is that Kuwabara
just doomed the human race.
He just potentially doomed the human race. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second is there's no reason that we know of, and yet I can totally see them doing this, as to why the Kakai barrier is broken forever or it's not. So that is completely in limbo.
But the understanding that the characters had is that that's how it would work. You break it, it's broken, the S-class demons get through, the human race is over.
Yeah.
And so even if there's something that fixes it later, Kuwabara in that moment, and Hiei and Kurama as well, since they did nothing to stop him or even comment on the fact that he did it in a heat of passion or whatever afterwards, just doomed the entire human race.
Right.
And then on top of that, the very fact that Hiei and Kurama couldn't make it through the barrier feels a bit odd, because up until then, it had been said that they were B-class demons. Maybe at the top end of B-class or whatever.
So you're telling me that was because of their transformation?
So then they increase in power, which makes it so that they can't get through. But realistically, Sensui would... I understand if Sensui wanted to make it so that would happen, so that then he could force Kuwabara to break the thing. Okay, but he had no reason to know that Yusuke dying would push them to a threshold where then they wouldn't be able to go through the barrier. So it feels kind of like narrative convenience, where all of a sudden, normally they'd be able to go through the barrier.
Yeah, all according to Cake.
All according to Cake. And that could have been really interesting as for a way of these three go through the barrier, and then suddenly maybe they can't get back out.
Because they scaled up too much.
Right. Or then King Yama comes in and all that stuff, and it's like, shit, you're on the other side of the barrier.
Yeah, and that's because I can tell that this is very much a setup for a future arc. This is very much something where Togashi is trying to move some pieces into place for the way he wants the story to go later. Right. That's okay. I'll just say it's just something that I would say Togashi, you maybe could have done this. You could have done this better.
It feels similar to Yusuke taking the Mafuken from Koenma. It's like you just casually doomed the human race. And the thing is, I understand characters making decisions that aren't necessarily the best decisions.
Right.
The problem with it is then it makes it so that it's harder for me to feel the stakes of the cataclysm that's coming, because the characters don't even really seem to care about it. Right? They don't think about the fact that this will doom the human race.
So you've been talking for quite a bit about this, and I want to just share the two things really quickly of why I can tell Togashi's like, but this is okay. And you've kind of mentioned them already. One is that Kuwabara wants closure on the death of his friend.
Yep.
And that is a good enough reason, I would say, for most of these kinds of decisions to be basically just, no, I'm not thinking about that. Right. I don't care. I literally don't care. I'm going to die. And if anything, the fact that it's B-class demons coming out in hordes versus A and S-class, it might not actually matter the human race might be doomed anyway.
Sure.
Two. Second reason. This is something that I feel like is rather kind of it's I don't even really fully buy it or agree with it as well. But if Yusuke died here, he's kind of telling them to finish it for him. So Kuwabara is fulfilling a promise. He's carrying on his friend's will.
All right.
So if he didn't do it, he would feel like he failed Yusuke. It's not just for his own catharsis of getting back at Sensui, but it's the no, if I don't do this,
beat him for me.
I am failing Yusuke and his death means nothing. And this is a classic motivation thing when a character dies that's done in anime, and I don't like this kind of decision for the most part because it's the same logic as to why League players feed into a thing because their friend died and jumped in. You're like, well then I have to jump in too or their death will be meaningless. It's like, no. It's not how that works.
It is it makes sense for people to make decisions like that are very emotionally based and can be mistakes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Characters making mistakes, that's wonderful. And the idea of Kuwabara cutting through the barrier in her rage, I think that's even thematically on point because here you had the person who was the kind soul and hey, he just doomed the human race because of his own selfish desire for revenge.
Sure.
That feeds into
the themes of
point.
Sensui,
and yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
He beat Kuwabara in that case.
Right. But we don't really
see that on Kuwabara.
We don't really see it. There doesn't seem to be any sort of struggle with it or whatever or anything like that.
Okay, sorry, real quick thing there. They did have, or Kuwabara did say immediately after that about how he's going to use his skull to hold Yusuke's ashes. Basically, his skull is an urn for Yusuke's ashes.
Yeah.
That, I think, is the I am so incensed and enraged at you that I'm going to rip your skull off and bury it with my friend's ashes.
Yep.
They didn't have to show necessarily anything more if they're going to have him say that. Because this is coming from our wholesome boy.
That is a very good point.
Who probably could never, ever murder anybody except in this instance here.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh no, I am going to destroy you.
Right.
Or get myself killed doing so.
Yeah, and then as far as Kurama and Hiei, it's just sort of like we'll have to assume that they also are in a similar level of incensed rage, right?
Also, this is the other thing that I feel like is a rather interesting world building thing because we've never really brought this back up. But Hiei and Kurama don't care about humans in general. This is something that is very much a part of their character, but it's something that hasn't been needed to be brought up. But this is why I think they're going to have a demon arc focused here, is because they made this decision so casually. Yusuke was to them the one human being that they cared about the most, except in Kurama's case.
Because he also has his mother.
Because he has his mother.
Right. Hiei, I totally understand being like, yeah, fuck it, break the barrier. Let's go and
I don't
kick
give
his
a fuck
ass,
about human race.
Yeah, exactly. Kurama, I would have expected him to maybe have been a little bit of a voice of reason, maybe.
But even then, still,
because
he's a murderer. Like
right. But he's the type where even when he's pissed, he's calculating, right? And so I feel like he would be less likely to do the crime of passion in a way that he wasn't also thinking it through,
Yeah. Again, it would have been nice to not rush it as much, slow it down, have them talk about it a little bit.
Even if it's not for very long.
Even if it's for like 20 seconds. Yeah. I think that would have been nice. Who knows? Maybe there was something cut,
Sure.
I could very easily see it.
And they did stop at the barrier for a little bit since we went through and everything,
And yeah, I love the badass bit of Kurama coming up, touching it, probably using up a lot of energy just to block the energy that would probably kill him if he touched it. And then he's like, yeah, we're not getting through. Like, he growled out the line of where he was like, shit, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
that was awesome.
Yeah. So all in all, we're headed towards a finale for this arc, and okay.
All right. Yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep revealing more of Sensui. This is really interesting.
Right. And specifically, character, not abilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
But All right. Okay. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.